Welcome. Today we are looking at what happens when a system is judged not by one clean run, but by how it behaves when timing, load, retries, and coordination pressure start to change the rules.
So the real question is not whether it works once, but whether the same invariant still holds when the environment gets hostile.
Exactly. A design can look correct in the happy path and still fail under stress, so we need evidence that can defend the correction, not just the demo. A passing demo is not proof of robustness. Once pressure arrives, hidden assumptions become visible, and what looked orderly can turn into an observable failure.
What hidden assumption usually breaks first?
Usually it is the assumption that execution is single-threaded, timely, and in order. The next step is to name that assumption before we choose any fix. Now that we have named the assumption, watch the pressure chain. Load increases latency. Latency grows queues. Queues trigger retries, and retries can drive saturation.
Why does one slow step spread through the whole workflow?
Because pressure changes the system behavior, not just the response time. In a stateful concurrent design, one bottleneck can ripple outward and change ordering, backlog, and recovery. That is why evidence matters. Logs, traces, and metrics become useful only when they separate real behavior from assumption and can be tied back to one workflow.
Isn't a slow metric enough to prove the problem?
Not by itself. A metric says something is slow, but a correlation ID, structured trace, or ordered log sequence can show why that request slowed down and whether the invariant was actually violated. So the failure becomes concrete. The client submits work, the worker fetches it, the database slows, the queue backs up, and retries start making less progress with more effort.
Why did this pass the baseline test if the design is that fragile?
Because the happy path never forced overlapping execution or slow dependency behavior. The hidden invariant was that work would complete in the expected order before pressure could distort the workflow. The correction starts by protecting the invariant directly. Back pressure, bounded retries, item potency, and evidence collection each defend a different part of the failure.
Isn't adding retries or a lock enough?
Not automatically. Each mechanism has a trade-off. Back pressure can reduce throughput, bounded retries can delay completion, and item potency usually needs extra state or keys. The right choice depends on what property must remain true. Let's follow the stressed workflow. A load driver sends concurrent requests through the API gateway, the worker pool processes them, and the metrics store records timing and errors, while the worker may wait or retry.
So the waiting itself is part of the evidence?
Yes. Controlled delay is not failure by itself. It becomes meaningful when it shows the system is still preserving the invariant while under pressure. That brings us to the comparison. A simple baseline is easy to explain, but it often hides timing assumptions. A stress-aware design is more explicit and can be defended with repeatable failure tests.
So the simpler design is not wrong, just incomplete.
Exactly. The better design is the one that preserves the property you care about and makes the pressure visible enough to verify. For your own project, start with the invariant or progress property that matters most. Then write one sequential scenario that should succeed and one pressure scenario that is likely to expose the failure.
What evidence would be strong enough for the integrity packet?
Use operation IDs, entity IDs, timing information, and before and after evidence if you apply a fix. The packet should defend the assumption, the validation, and the remaining risk. So the trade-off is always explicit. The baseline is fast but hides pressure assumptions. Guarded transitions protect the invariant. Coordination exposes ordering. Item-potent retry-safe design handles duplicates but adds key management.
Which one should we choose first?
Choose the one that preserves the property you care about with the least acceptable cost. Then prove it with stress evidence, not just intuition.